this life of adventure and really not living through fear. I think that's really one of the huge parts. Like when you have a dream and you can identify it, shut off that frontal cortex and just go for it. You know, that's really the most fulfilling way to go.
You know, I've been to 5 Olympics. I started my first Olympics, I was 22 years old. I played on an indoor team, and it never, ever gets old.
Yeah.
Ever. Representing USA, playing my sport, fighting for my dreams. But truly, I learned this about probably my 3rd Olympics. It was all about work and winning a gold medal, and every day my head was down, and I stopped enjoying the journey. And my last 2 Olympics, I've made it really my emphasis, my focus to live every day, to win a gold medal every day, along eventually, hopefully, winning a gold medal in the Olympics. And so my 5th Olympics was so special, just as all the previous 4 had been. And you always want to win your last match. We won our last match. It was amazing. We stood on the podium. It wasn't the top, but it felt, like the top to us for that moment.
Yeah.
And again, it was just, I learned so much in that loss. I mean, I think we just heard it. You learn so much when you're down in the dumps, and you learn what you're about. And for me, it's a chance to look in the mirror and, say, what do you got, kid?
Yeah.
And I learned a lot, and we came back and won. And I'm surrounded by great people who helped me chase my dreams, and that's a big part of it too.
I mean, to a climber, El Capitan is kind of the icon. It's one of the most beautiful canvases, the biggest rock wall in North America. And to climb it, it's just like a ton of work, and it's a hugely complicated logistical thing, and it's the kind of thing that people originally thought was impossible. And Lynn was one of the main pioneers of proving everybody wrong. And I kind of took that and I wanted to stand on the shoulders of giants. And so I went to El Cap, and I did the routes that had been previously done, the nose as one of them. I did the second ascent of the route that Lynn did the first ascent of. And then I wanted to take it farther. I got this glimpse of something that people thought was impossible, and then proving them wrong, and that was kind of addicting, and I wanted more of that. So I started to look at the wall, and I was like, okay, some people thought that this route that I did was maybe impossible. I want to find something that maybe everybody thinks is impossible and try and prove them wrong. And so that's how this route, the Dawn Wall, which is labeled on this photo here, came to be. And I just thought it was going to be sort of the next climbing objective, and it turned into this crazy 7-year odyssey.
I think for me, one of the most important things is, did it matter in the game? Did it matter in the game? Sorry, that's what you're there for. You're there to score goals and win the game. I wasn't interested at the end of the game of if we lost a game and I was going to say, at least, I scored 2. No, I scored 2. They need to mean something in the game. And if it didn't mean anything, then even when, fairness, I did score goals and we won, I wasn't always happy. Or shall I say satisfied. But yes, it's discounted. I went a bit too far, but it's an image that I always say that, and you scored 2, you lost 4-2. What's the big deal out of that?
I've been climbing for 40 years, and there weren't very many women in the sport, and I had one role model, and I remember reading in a famous book, The Vertical World of Yosemite, that women are conspicuously absent from the pages of this book. I make no apologies here because women simply weren't doing any major first ascents during the formative years of Yosemite, and that really kind of surprised me. And I felt that it was important to have role models, and I already felt like outside of the normal paradigm of what a woman should be, and I also had a lot of experience that was unique as an American climber, period, not man-woman. I was raised in California. I moved to New York, learned different techniques on different types of rock. Then I moved to France and discovered the world of limestone overhanging faces where you're hanging on to your finger pockets on really steep terrain. That taught me how to push myself to the max. And I just loved learning and exploring. And I think that the vision that I had from all these different travels gave me a different perspective of the nose route.
At the end of my career, many people say, why are you not just sitting down, relaxing, going on a beach and enjoy yourself? Playing golf here, which we were never allowed to do, by the way. But no, I understand over the years of the success that I've had on the field, that's given me the chance to actually achieve off the field with other things. And this, without doubt, is my main focus. People turn around to me at the end of my career and said, do you want to become a manager? Do you want to become a coach? I have to be passionate about something. I think, many of you have seen me play, hopefully, and enjoyed watching me play for my country and the teams that I've played with over the years. And everyone knows how passionate I am about the game and about my job. So I have to be passionate. I have a voice, and I have a voice that a lot of people like to listen to. It might be slightly high-pitched at times, but I do have a voice that people listen to.
The car is like it's like a plane upside down, but because we have all these wings, basically, obviously a plane has lift. I always describe it to people. Imagine you're driving down the road and you have your window down. You put your hand out the window, it blows your hand back. And if you put your hand down, it blows your hand down. And all our wings are like that. So the faster we go, the more force that's generated. And I think at 200 miles an hour, we have over a ton, maybe 2 tons of downforce just from the air. And so when I turn at 200 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour, the thing goes like a rocket in whatever direction I point it in. But then you're on the ragged edge. It is obviously dangerous. The most vulnerable part is our head, the helmet. Some drivers, we've had 2 drivers pass away in the last couple of years, one in IndyCar, one in Formula 1, because that's the one part that's exposed. The rest of our body is very, very safe now. Technology is so advanced that it is safe. But of course, we're all conscious of that when we do get in the car. And I guess we're all a bit crazy to be able to do what we do. And you just hope that you start on the right foot. Monaco is about one step at a time, building up, because one little mess up, it really knocks your confidence back, and it's really hard to get back there. So it's about just taking baby steps and building a real foundation of confidence and keep growing it.
It's not done. It's not over. We have a lot of subconscious stereotypes. All of us do. And it's something that we have to change by the way that we live and the way that we think and the way that we associate with women and men in different roles. And so I think the hardest thing is to realize that you can make a lot of effort and that the path is still long in front of you. There's still a long way to go.
There's still a big mountain ahead.
There's always a new climb, and that's what makes climbing really the best sport in the world for me, because it's a pretext to travel, and it's always different. Even if you do the same climb, it's a different experience. And so you have to be adaptable and flexible in the way that you move and the way that you take care of yourself. And I think that for me, it's helped me have a youthful spirit, because I think what Tommy said before about curiosity, if you're not curious, you're not asking questions and you're not challenging yourself, and you got to keep doing that. So it's never really, you're never really at the top. You might be there temporarily, but there's always new challenges.
Golds are golds. Someone is like, is bronze a new gold? I'm like, absolutely not. Bronze is bronze. However, my thoughts have certainly changed on winning a bronze medal. Literally, it was such a magical Olympics, and we hit the semifinal match. I played like total crap. Like athlete's worst nightmare, show up, you're on the big stage and you don't show up. My heart was there, my head was there, I just wasn't executing. Total devastation that night to have to turn around to fight for another day to live for the bronze medal. And we won, and we overcame, and we finished with a triumph. And to me as an athlete, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. I'm a big believer in focusing on the positive and at all times, even when you're down in the dumps. And for me, to get a chance to fight for the bronze medal became something I need to put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
I preach these things, let me live it now, and let me not cower away from the situation that I put myself in. Let me rise to the occasion. It became a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I say that you showed something yesterday that doesn't mean it's going to be the same on the day after. And so I always see it as it's a new race the day after. We're all on the same starting point. Leslie's going to win that race again today. So I don't live in the past. Although you need the past to be present in the future, that's what I always say, but the present is actually the moment that we're living right now, so I was trying to live at that particular moment, and the only time you can go back and start to think about what you've done is when it's done. Now I can, that's what I said to you, I bother my kids with it, but at the time that you're active, you need to think about what's coming next.